First thing we're going to do, we're going to come in here and just clean this inside of the throttle body. Get all the old carbon out. Since it is a diesel, there's a lot of carbon in this area. So we're just going to clean this out. All right. So far, good. We're going to take this throttle body and we're going to add some high temperature grease on the seals. And this is to ensure, one is that it slides in nice and smooth, and two is to ensure that the seals don't move out of place when we put into the intake assembly. All right, so we're gonna bring it in. We're gonna tilt it up. Just put the passenger side in first. Kind of push it in. And just kind of wiggle it till it lines up with the, there we go. And then we just kind of wiggle it in so it can get in there. We just want to make sure it lines up with the EGR tube. There we go. Okay. Actually, one thing I forgot to do is put this clamp on. So every time you replace the throttle assembly, you have to put a new clamp. You have to replace this EGR tube clamp. We can go ahead and put this back in here. Just slide it over. Get in here, just make sure these line up. There we go. Okay, so that should be good right there. Once that lines up, before you start messing with this clamp, you want to make sure that this section is lined up with the hole. So once you line everything up with the EGR tube, you want to make sure before you tighten this clamp that this hole is lined up with the hole on the bottom, so we can tighten this bolt up. Let's see, just wiggle it a little bit. Okay, lined up there. Make sure this EGR tube is lined up as well. There you go. That should be good right there. I'll get this clamp over it. And what you want to use is these type of pliers. These are for C-clip and R-clip ones. Just want to clamp them down nice and smooth. It has to come all the way. I just want to make sure before I do the final clamping that it's in there. And then we're going to squeeze it hard. There it is. Then you kind of tap it just to make sure it's in there. Once it's there, this is lined up. Now we can tighten it down. Use a 10mm deep socket, ratchet. Once you get it snug, just do a quarter turn. Hold it nice and tight in there. This is the map sensor. Connect this bad boy here. So the new throttle body came with a new map sensor, which is really good. Because the old one, when I came down, was caked on with carbon, which is this one. I cleaned it up, but nothing like having a new OEM replacement. Got that connected. Vacuum lines, you just push them back in here. The connector for the throttle body, just put it back in. Clip it in there. Loosened up the EGR tube hold down. So I'm going to tighten this up. Well, it is an 8mm. Alright, so this bolt is an 8mm. This is what holds down the EGR tube. We're just going to tighten it up. Once it's snug, just quarter turn. That's good. Okay, got this connected. We got the map sensor connected. These vacuum lines hooked up. Going to remove the cover. And this was the throttle plate. It's supposed to be like this, nice and smooth. And the other one was getting stuck. Alright, so we'll remove this clip. There's some tabs on the side right here. And just pull them to the side and pick it straight up. There you go. Then just line it up, make sure it goes all the way in. Let's put the clip back in here. Make sure it falls right in place in here. There's that clip. I like to press them in. Make sure it's locked in and then pull. There's a slight snug on it, pull on it, make sure this is in there, or else you're going to create a vacuum leak here. Alright, so that pretty much concludes the installation. Got everything buttoned up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the throttle body adaptive values relearn with the scan tool. Alright, so I'm about to connect to the vehicle. I got the Tell MS906. I'm going to see if this is capable of doing the throttle body relearn. PCM. Want to go in there and erase all the codes first, so I know it's going to have some. And this is the one for the throttle body. It was especially the turbo underboost, and this one with the circuit low was because I had disconnected the throttle body with the ignition switch on. But let's go ahead and erase these codes. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if it picks anything up. Nothing. All right, let's exit. Go special functions. Pass setup, routine, diesel, crank pressure. Here you go. Throttle. What we're going to do? Throttle valve actuator replacement. Okay. We'll reinitialize. Hit OK. Turn the ignition switch on, which it is. Turn the ignition switch off and on. Hit OK. Turn the ignition switch off. Hit OK. Operation was successful. Okay, so we're going to exit out of here. So now that we're exiting, we're going to live data. Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna grab, see if we can find throttle body. Actuator adapted. Position sensor voltage, so we're going to do that. Absolute throttle position. Bank one. Anything that has to do with the throttle body, I'm going to select. Show selected. Okay, 4.3 voltage. So let's go ahead and start her up. There it is. Okay, we're just gonna let it idle a little bit and go back and sorry, I went too far back. I'm gonna want to get the RPM signal. RPM, engine, RPM, desired. And then we're gonna go back and get the throttle. Come on. Voltage, absolute position. We'll do the error. Go show selected. All right, so okay, so right now the vehicle is dead cold. That's why it's at 832 RPM. So it's still warming up. So I'm gonna bring you guys back when it's fully warmed up.